It's pretty cool.
Yeah, it is cool.
Hey everyone, Andy from Single Track Magazine here, and I'm with Kelvin from Orange at Eurobike to check out some new bikes. So what have you got for us?
Right, so this is our new Switch 6. It's a mixed wheel size bike, or a mullet bike, with 160mm travel on the front and 145mm travel on the rear. The frame's gone through like a complete bunch of renovations over where the previous models have been. We've looked at revising spring curves, so we're a little more progressive at the bottom end of it. We've looked at revising all the cable routing as well, so that's a lot cleaner and neater than it has been. Geometry has had a huge update, so we're now sitting at 76 degrees for the seat angle, 64 degrees at the head angle, now spec'd up with a reduced offset fork as well. Bikes I think we're looking at availability is like the end of September.
Right. So it's like all Orange launches, like everyone says, oh, it looks the same, but actually when you go to the details, everything's new.
Yeah, it's difficult because our silhouette is always the same, right?
Yeah.
You always know it's an Orange, but the amount of work that goes into it and the small changes that we've made, even from prototype to prototype, just make huge differences in the way that the bike rides. And we've spent a lot of time on this one. It's something that it's a bit close to us because there's a lot of guys in the office who ride 29ers. Well, there's guys who pitch their tent out for 27, and there's that middle ground. It's like a good middle ground.
Yeah. So just to reiterate what this is, the Switch 6, 29-inch wheel at the front, 27.5 on the rear. Does it use a special custom rear end on this, or are you using a rear end off a different bike?
No, it's a complete custom rear end on it.
Yeah.
So everything on this bike has been specifically tailored for it. It's something that we've tried originally to look. Some of our first prototype mules were literally using separate options from maybe we used like a stage 6 front and an Alpine rear or something to try and cobble it together to get the principles down at first. And even at that point, we knew there's weight to it. We knew there was an option there for us to go ahead with it. So.
Cool. And so we've got steeper rear, slacker front,
Yep.
and this is a really nice paint job. It's like I don't know if you can see it on the camera, but it's like pearlescent white, isn't it? It's beautiful.
Yeah, so we class it as cosmic white. It's a colour that we used to do back in the day, and it's something that we brought forward. We did a custom bike for Tim Ponting this year.
Oh, is this the old team colour?
It's the old team colour, yeah. So we brought it back out again, and it feels like it's relevant again. So it's a cool colour, it's very fresh. I think it looks nice with the new decals on it, and I think it should get down okay.
Okay, cool. And just the name Switch 6, is that because it changes direction so easily, or?
Yeah, exactly. It's that big difference between the 29er bike and this one is that it just feels more agile. You still feel like you have the rollover that you get with the 29er wheel at the front and the grip, but the back end just feels a bit more engaged and a bit more fun and lively, and you can really push it into the corners and work the ground. You can either pump the ground again. So.
Okay, we're going to take a look at a few more bikes as well now. So we're going to pick the camera up and check out some more Oranges.
Okay, so we're over at Orange, and we're just going to take a look through the new Stage 6. It's one of the bikes for us at the show this year, which has gone through, one of the biggest overhauls really. Like the revisions on this bike have been pretty extensive. Over the previous year's bike, we've kept the suspension travel the same, so we're still running 160 at the front and 150 at the rear, 29-inch wheels. We've now moved to a reduced offset fork, and we've also gone to a metric shock, so we're on a 210/55 rear shock as well. Seat angles also had like a big shift, so we've gone from 74 up to 76, so it's 2 degrees further forwards, and the head angle's also slackened out to 64 degrees, so it's a degree and a half slacker than where we were previously. There's been a 10mm drop in the BB. We've completely revised the cable routing, so now it's a lot further up the down tube. Entry point goes over the top of the pivot, and then it goes back in on the chainstay, and it cleans the bike down a lot. In part with that seat angle getting a little bit steeper, the reach measurements have also got bigger, so there should be no need for somebody to upsize now. So where we were on a large, we were at 460, we're now at 485 on a reach for a size large. So plenty of room, still a very agile bike. It's really, really good fun, but I think it's moved it on another level now. It's that much more than it was previously.
Cool.
So if we also take a look, not to be upstaged, the Stage 5 actually as well has gone through a whole host of revisions. It's almost where the Stage 6 was last year. It's hinting towards that. So the head angle on this bike is now at 65. Seat angles come forward again though to 76. Reach numbers you're looking at are very similar, so we're around about 480 on a large. We've dropped the BB, we've kept the travel the same, reduced the offset on the fork, and we've moved to a 210/50 metric shock. But again, now I think that stage 5 fits into a position where you could use it for like weekend hauling, or we can go uplifting, or you can use it for a small enduro event and be quite happy that it was more than up to the task. We've got a bunch of other bikes in the range that we're showing here as well at Eurobike, and the kids' bikes have been something that's super popular. We've got everything from a 16-inch wheel pop, which regretfully we don't have here, which is single speed with nice V-brakes. It's an aluminium frame and fork, to the Zest 20 and the Zest 24. The Zest 24 is on like a 1x11 group set, hydraulic brakes. It's got an air fork. It's ready for the younger riders really to take up the mantle and start getting stuck into it. Okay, so one more bike I want to have a look at as well at the stand is the new Clockwork Evo, the 27.5 wheel version. Both bikes again have gone through subtle revisions. The 27.5 wheel bike has now got 140mm travel, which is 10mm more than it had previously, and the 29er has now got 130mm travel, again 10mm more than it had previously. Head angles are a degree slacker on both bikes, so the 27.5 bike is now at 65. We've also lowered the BB 8mm and revised the cable routing, so it's got a new bolt-in insert, which is a little bit cleaner than where we were previously. 2 specs again. We'll do a standard comp spec and an S spec, and bikes should be in sometime around November. Thanks very much. End of day 1, Eurobike 2019.